All right, we're gonna go ahead and try to get these springs at least somewhat done. I don't know which side goes to what, but I'm gonna take these out and kind of see if one's taller than the other, and I'm just gonna go with that. But if you look at it right now, you can tell or not, but the camera's way off. It's tilted in real bad on the top. It's hard to get a good side of it. So I'm hoping what this does, you can't really tell too much. I could tell it from here in real life, but anyways, they're tilted in. I'm hoping that what it does is it doesn't raise it real high, much different than where it is now. Whatever, that's my pinky on it. So almost the top. That's my thumb, won't quite make it in there. I hope it stays not much, doesn't get much taller than that, but it actually kind of corrects the geometry. So yeah, about the same on each side. I mean, I know this isn't a very good measurement, but it's not quite up there, but not quite my whole hand unless I squish down my thumb. So I think we'll just jack it up and take the springs out. It shouldn't be too bad of a deal, but you know, famous last words. But lately, everything I've done has went pretty smooth. So wish me luck. We'll see how it goes. Well, if you hear any random rap music or rock music in the distance, there's a football field about a quarter mile away from me, and they're blasting music. I guess they're having a good time. So anyways, here's the spring. Passenger side is on the left, driver's side's on the right. One's way higher than the other, so I'm gonna put the shorter one on the passenger side, taller one on the driver's side. See what happens. Either the old one's out of there, they basically dropped out. Take the bolt off the bottom, and then there's a strap that's held on by two nuts, or two bolts at the top. The strap has caged or welded nuts on there. Don't even have to use a wrench on the other end, so works out pretty good. So yep, should be pretty self-explanatory. This one spring's got the original color on it, so I would say those original 6-cylinder springs, the original color on this was kind of a seafoam greenish, maybe a little lighter, and that's what's on the top of it. I don't know if you can see it. Right here is like the bluish green from the original, which I didn't know they painted the bodies with the frames underneath of them, so who knows, but there's something, and it sure looks like the original paint. So hopefully original 6-cylinder springs. I put the 390 springs in there and it works good. Here's the hoping anyways. Well, they're in. It's about time to see if it sits funnier or better. They went in real easy, so I'm hoping they're stiffer at least, because they ain't much taller. they're in. It went real easy, as easy as what I expected from this whole situation. So I'm gonna set her down and see what happens. Well, that made me nervous. I dropped the driver's side and it looked like a four-wheel drive, but I dropped the passenger side and it all came down pretty good. Hard to say about the suspension being the right way until I drive it, because as soon as you set it down, it just takes a set kind of weird. Once you roll it back and forth, drive it down the road, it'll be where it's going to be. But man, those are the easiest springs I've ever done. All I had to do was take out 3 bolts. No spring compressors, no nothing like that. Super duper easy. Shock doesn't go through it, so you don't have to take the shock off. So yeah, went pretty good. I'll show you how many hands I had underneath the. It should be a little bit taller. Like I said, I don't know. The springs weren't that much taller because I didn't have to fight them back in either. I fought the old ones out worse. So, but I'm sure spring rates are different. The coils on the old ones look smaller to me, but maybe that was just just my imagination. So here it is. Yeah, definitely bigger. See, that's still squished a little bit, but not by much. You know, the 4 fingers. There's a whole nother place for a finger. Thumb pretty much clears underneath there. Before I had to get stuck under here, I had to sink it way down. So make your own judgment. I guess I did jump on this up and down, kind of seat it, but it's nothing compared to the engine and body coming down on it, when you stop and stuff, and road bumping it back up. So the forces will be much greater when I drive it. So yeah, I think that's taller. We'll check the other side, make sure it's not way off. I don't expect it to be. It looks about the same to me. Again, quite a bit more. You can get my whole hand in and out of there. So I don't know, what do you call that? An inch? Inch and a half? I call it an inch. It's still got to settle, I'm sure. As far as looking at the suspension right now, it's hard to say. I want it to be better, so it's probably gonna look better to me. And it never did show up on camera very well, so it looks like it's tilted in less in the top. If it drives better, that would be amazing. That's all I really wanted from it. I don't expect it to be perfect. I don't expect it to be much better, but it was twitchy as could be. It was just, I've never really felt bump steer, but that's what I gotta imagine it is. It just, it was just twitchy as could be, and for no real reason. I mean, not even on a bad road. It would just, you just had to be aware, or else it would go wherever it wanted. So hopefully it's better. Worst case scenario, it's the same, but at least it's got the right springs in the front. I kind of halfway expect the rear end to be causing a little bit of that steering, because I've never been into it, but I know the rear end, the leaf spring and the shock mounts were all just welded on. I mean, and not done well. Looks like they cut it off an old rear end and welded it on there, just set it up in there and welded it. So that's the need for the new rear end, a different rear end. The width is it's too wide, and I mean, it's just hokey. I don't even know what it's out of. I would assume it's out of a later truck with wider space leaf springs, and they went and brought them in, but I don't know for sure. I don't remember if I ran the tag off that or not, but it's not right anyway. So that's another one for another day, and I hope it goes as smooth as this does. I have a rear end underneath an old bed that was turned in back of the frame. Bed was turned into a trailer, so I don't know anything about it other than it's a 9-inch and it's the right year. So right year, right bolt pattern on the wheels, but I mean, it could have been really, really, really abused. So hard to say, but that's my plan, is to do that one. Pull it out, look it over, no major problems, pop it in there and see what happens. Might be a bad idea, but it seems like everyone I run into is either they want way too much or they're gone way quick. I mean, Last one I found that was a good deal was like $300 with the leaf springs that came with it and the drive shaft, and that was a good deal, but it was 3 hours away, and I never got around to it until it was too late. He'd already sold it. So anyways, I'll take a test drive in this and take you along with me, and we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Don't expect it to be a Cadillac, but man, it'd sure be nice if I didn't have to fight that wheel so bad. Thanks. Bye. All right, here we go. First drive since I put the springs in. Got the glasses on, but it still seems twitchy to me. I did take it down the road a little bit around the block, and it still seems a little twitchy to me, but hope it's better. I kind of looked at it today with a fresh set of eyes. Wheel still looks like it's kind of leaning to me, but I don't know. What are you going to do? It's got to be better, right? It feels better. If you can look at the steering wheel, it's off, but that's not a big deal to me, which means that it's usually straight-ish, but it doesn't. I don't know if I ever showed you a video of it before, but it's not as twitchy as it seems it used to be. Still a little bit. Much better than it was. It used to kind of just back and forth, and hitting those bumps would really set it off. It seems a lot better. It's a lot less twitchy. Of course, again, the tires are, you know, probably as old as I am, and so they're not going to be great as far as suspension goes. I don't know. Well, they might be low on air too. Steering wheel's crooked. It feels a lot less twitchy to me, especially over bumps. It's still got a little twitchiness to it. I mean, I put a new tie rod in and never did get it aligned, so I mean, that could be, seems better. The ice cream shop's not open. So, time to go to Walmart. We'll go the back way. We can go the front way, but it's just a lot of stop lights. My glasses keep overheating. It's maybe, I don't know, 80 degrees, 90 degrees in here, maybe. And they keep overheating. I don't know where they expect you to film these at, but that's a little ridiculous. I was running into this on drag week too. See, there's a little bit of dead spot in here where nothing, and it's tough to go that way. And easier to go to the right, so I don't know. Steering box, alignment, I don't know. Like, springs didn't fix everything, but I didn't figure they would. On the plus side, running 190 around town, over 40 pounds of pressure at 1,500 RPM, so can't complain about that. It's been a pretty good truck. I've never really tried it out. I'm sure it overheats sitting in traffic on a hot day. I also have the core support that's not completely cut out because it's originally a 6-cylinder truck. So, I don't know, maybe a little less than a quarter of the radiator's covered by just sheet metal. At some point in time, I guess I'll cut that out. It's not going to hurt any. I mean, I'm not. The core support isn't perfect anyways, so I'm not doing any damage by cutting out that little piece of core support. I'm only making it run cooler. And if I can handle the heat, these glasses should be able to. Where am I gonna film at? You know, in an air-conditioned room. It's not that hot. It's not that hot out here. My cell phone's doing fine. The glasses can do fine. They should be able to handle this. It's really annoying. They should be able to handle enough heat to be on my face and be in the hot weather, you know, in the sun, outside, sunglasses. Call me crazy, but it seems like a pretty big problem if you're really going to use them much at all. The 1 minute max filming is a little annoying, but it does okay. Still has a noticeable stumble. I think it's the carburetor. It's a little twitchy still. Steering wheel goes crooked, but the truck drives straight. A nice alignment, but I'm going to need tires for that. And I don't want to put tires on something that's going to eat them. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle of what to do. Good old Walmart. Here we are. Walmart trip was a success, except for I spent way more than I should have. Got more than I needed, but that's just the way the world works these days. So, heading back. Like I said, not perfect. I guess I'm gonna have to just break down, get new tires, take it to a shop, see if they can do an alignment, and just wait for the results. See what they tell me I need to replace. I'm worried about kingpins, and if it gets down to that, I'd rather just buy either lowering ones or just known good ones that have disc brakes on them from somebody who's upgrading to a Crown Vic front end. So we'll see. In the meantime, it's doing it's doing decent. I would like to fix the oil leaks, power steering leak, transmission leak, and that way I could drive it further, actually have more of a drivable truck. So, little by little. As you can see, I'm still fighting the wheel a little bit. Brakes are already getting better. I don't know what that is. See it, it's pretty bumpy, and I'm still fighting the wheel a little bit. Not bad, but for the average driver, this would be unacceptable. I've been driving junk so long, it's, tolerable for me. I would like for anybody to be able to jump in this and go without feeling like they're out of control, feeling dangerous. So, got a little bit of work to do. I knew I did. I knew those springs wouldn't fix everything. I just hope they fix it a little, make it a little more right. I'm not so sure to say that they did. About 30 pounds at idle when hot, about 200 degrees, maybe a little less. Heck, you don't really worry about it till you're up to 230, and we're a long ways from that, so pretty happy with that on a hot day.